everyone, welcome to my channel, A Bare Soul. My name is Taisha and I want to thank you guys for clicking here to watching. As you can see, this title is how to deal with loss, disappointment, and rejection. And when you're going through that, questioning God, like why, what's going on, what's happening, and when you're feeling hopeless and feeling a loss of faith, this is going to have a lot of Christian elements because I am Christian and it's going to be a little bit spiritual oriented. But I did just want to come and just make a video, share my testimony about something that I'm currently going through because I just recently dealt with all those feelings and still dealing with a lot of hurt right now, feeling like hopeless, having a loss of faith when you've been praying for something to go right, to go a different way, and doing all the steps, but praying super hard, but things didn't go your way, and you just having that moment of feeling lost and being disappointed and a loss of faith and just feeling hopeless. So if that's you, I'm gonna ask you to go ahead and just stay tuned, and yeah, let's get right into the video. Okay, so I have my journal, my little journal here, and I'm sorry, let me look at the camera. I have my little journal here, and if you see me looking down, it's gonna be because I'm looking at this. So I want to start it off with a verse. It's just gonna be like the basis for everything that I'm talking about, and it's from Proverbs 19:21. It says, "Many are the plans in a person's heart, but it's the Lord's purpose that prevails." Okay. So let me just share my story about what I was going through and while I was feeling hopeless and just mad at God basically because I was praying about something that I really wanted, really needed, and been having so many delays, and now having another delay, and it's just like I really just wanted to give up and just yeah. So anyways, so I'm in college, I'm in my senior year, and I'm on my final 25 credits. So 25 credits, that's basically just 8 classes that I have left into graduation. But the thing is, I was on financial aid probation because I'll get all into that. So basically, I wasn't getting financial aid. I applied for an appeal this semester so that I could keep my classes or whatever, because my bill, my tuition and fees were I owed $3,800 for this semester. And that's just for my classes. Not included the books that I need to pay for this semester and also my rent because I do have my apartment here. I don't live at home. My college is 3 hours away. So I had to apply for an appeal and write in a little appeal statement of saying what transpired to make me lose the financial aid or whatever, what was going on with me, my grades, and why I didn't make progress, whatever, make that good GPA to keep getting financial aid. So I had to do that appeal statement and just show proof or whatever from my advisor, and supposed to send something else that like show proof of what made you lose it, like someone who's familiar with your struggles, whatever, but I didn't have that. All I did was send a letter from my advisor because like this is not my first time I had to do this appeal statement, which I'll get all into, but whatever. But so this whole time I've just been praying like, God, please let this get approved or whatever, please let this get approved. So long story short, I get the email where it says that financial aid, the appeal has been denied again. Y'all, this is my 3rd time of me submitting an appeal, and altogether this is going to be my 6th semester I'm having to sit out of classes. The thing is, I was had I got this appeal approved, I would have been eligible to walk in this spring's graduation. I would have got my degree. I would have still had like 3 more classes to finish up in the summer, but I would have been able to walk in the spring graduation, which was really important to me because I just had plans to just get up out of this town. Like my school is in this really country town. I'm from the city, the Atlanta area, so it's like I was ready to just be done, and I had like already had a plan that I had set forth in motion, an idea of what I want to do after graduation, after I got my degree in the summer. But like all that just went out the door because now it's going to be another delay of 6 months added to me being in this town and to graduation, even though, let me get into this too. So, just rewind of why I got the financial aid cut off in the first place. I graduated high school in 2013 and went to college right after that. So my first 2 years of college, I did okay. I was at a school that I hated, really, really, really hated. I was not happy there. It was like, had no type of social life. And oh yeah, I was like a complete loner in high school. So I didn't have any friends once I got to college either, because I really didn't know how to socialize or whatever. So long story short, I did 2 years, I did 2 years at that school, but I wasn't at like a junior status. I was like in the between sophomore and junior level. So I did 2 years there, then I transferred to the school where I currently go to, and that was in 2015. And my GPA at that time was like a 2.25. Now, I've never been a good student. I never studied. I really did not do my work. I failed a few classes, more than, I failed about 3 or 4 classes my first 2 years at the other school, so it was a hot mess. But when I transferred to this school in 2015, things just went completely downhill. I was more social once I got here, because it's like a more active campus, and it's like an actual college scene, because it's a college town. So I was more social, and let me just go ahead and say it. That first semester I came here, I just want to come and just be honest, y'all, just so y'all can know and understand my struggle. I was not doing my work. I was not going to classes. I just did not care, to be honest with you, and I was lazy. I got straight D's and F's, and I had 1 withdrawal. And I actually had to withdraw from a class because my brother, he actually lost his battle with cancer, and throughout that semester, that was 2015, there was a lot going on, a lot to deal with that, so I missed a lot of classes. So I got a medical withdrawal for that class, so that was rough. But also along this time, I got involved with this little situationship. And ladies, listen to me. If you are in college, if you're in high school, whatever, leave the boys alone. They will come. Leave them alone. For real. Dudes always make me lose focus, and this dude was just like the spawn of Satan, and that's like a completely whole like different story. But really, it's like part of me, what led to my testimony of coming to Christ or whatever. But yeah, that's like a lot to get into. But it ties into the next year, 2016, where things just went completely downhill and took a turn for the worse. I forgot to mention also those first 2 years of me being in college. After high school, I won a scholarship and the scholarship was going to give me $5,000 each year, so $2,500 each semester. But you know, like, if you're getting a scholarship and you're not doing your grades right, it's like, you can't just expect people to just be giving you free money and you're not doing like what you're supposed to be doing. And what's so crazy is, we found out my brother had got diagnosed with cancer like 2013, like towards the beginning, or like May of my senior year in high school in 2013. And I remember I was just crying one night. I was praying like, oh my gosh, this sounds kind of selfish looking back. I do feel selfish, but like, okay, my brother, he's got this diagnosis, and we're gonna have to worry about chemo and radiation. And that's around that time when I found out, like, what my first semester would be for college. Like, my parents didn't have no money. I seen how much that estimated cost of attendance would be, and I was like, oh my gosh, cried my eyes out. Like, I was like, please God, please just make a way. This was just one night. I was crying my eyes out, and then that next day, I got a call from the scholarship donor saying that I was selected and chosen for that scholarship. So that's just a blessing from God, because it is like a Christian organization. The nonprofit that I got the scholarship from is like Christian based, and like I know that's just a blessing from God. But long story short, I fumbled that bag. Really fumbled that bag because, you know, with my grades slipped when I transferred to this new school. As I said, I had all those D's and F's. And, yeah, so, again, okay. So, back to where I say in 2016, after the semester, my brother died. I got all these D's and F's this semester. You know, when you transfer to a new school, you have your GPA, whereas your transfer GPA, which is like your cumulative, whatever, but you also have to have a different GPA set for your current college, your institutional GPA. So that's two separate things. So, for that semester, my GPA institutional was like a 0.33. Hot mess. But 2016, as I said, I was in that situation with this situationship with the dude, which is a spawn of Satan, and everything went downhill from that. Like, it's again another story in itself, but I was completely just depressed that first half of 2016. Like, I was showering every day, but I was not cleaning. Like, my parents came to visit me one weekend, and it was like, dang, it was like you just let yourself go, because I did not clean my bathtub. I just did not want to get up. All I wanted to do was just sit and lay in my bed all day, sit in the dark and cry, because I was just like so depressed from the situation. And again, it's like, it's actually really deep. But my grades just tumbled. It just went downhill, like the worst way. There's this accounting class I had that the whole semester, so from January through May, I only went to this class, no lie, about 6 or 7 times. I was just like, that's so sad, but I was just like so depressed. Like, yeah. So, in the midst of me being depressed, I was getting emails from my school saying, hey, like, you're on academic warning, whatever, because your GPA was too low. But like, I was like depressed. I didn't pay no attention to it. So my grades didn't improve because I was still depressed for like throughout that whole year. So after the fall 2016 semester, I actually got kicked out of school and I had to sit out for a whole year. So that set me back. And after the year had passed, I was eligible again to return to school, but I still got denied financial aid. I had to show my ability to be successful before I could get my financial aid back once I returned, and that was around 2018. So 2018, I became eligible again to get my financial aid back, and in order for me to show my ability to be successful and get my financial aid back, I had to complete a semester of myself paying out of pocket, and I had to get all my classes, no grade below a C, and no withdrawals. So thankfully, I had a good little job. I had moved back home by this time, and I was able to pay out of pocket. And the job I was working at actually had this thing for even part-time workers, where I think you had to be working there for like 6 months or something. I don't know, maybe 3 or 6 months, but you were able to qualify for tuition reimbursement. So basically, if you were paying out of pocket and not getting financial aid while you were working there, the job reimbursed you for half that. It's a great company, and if you're watching this and you want to learn more about that, how you can pay for school out of pocket, let me know, and I can tell you about the company, where to apply, and I'll make a video about that. Let me know. So 2018, I did what I had to do. I think I got 2 C's, a B, and an A for that summer 2018 semester. Boom. And I was able to come back to school fall 2018 semester. But I was still on that, had to still abide by those conditions of no grade below a C and the no withdrawals. Unfortunately, y'all, math is just not my subject. And I was taking the statistics class, and I ended up getting a D in it. So just from that, just me getting that 1 D, fall 2018, I got cut off from financial aid again. So yeah, that's where we are now. After fall 2018, I had to sit out spring 2019, and it's just like dealing with that setback just like really hurt me and really took me, like, had me so depressed. So whole 2019 was just like a struggle for me. I wasn't depressed, but I was broke AF, you know. I was not making no type of money. I did not make any type of money, and I was just like dissatisfied. Because it was just like a major setback. Because, you know, 2018 was like a really good year for me financially wise. I was able to pay that money out of pocket. I was about my business. In fall 2018, got that financial aid back, and I don't know, you know, I fumbled the bag again. I really did try hard that semester though, and with that class, I did miss a lot of homework assignments, but I tried hard. I failed the class. I got like a 67 in the class. It was hard. So yeah, 2019 was just like sucky year, you know, because I was really thought like my degree was just right there in my grasp, in my hands, but went away. So I tried to reapply. I do the appeal again for the spring 2019, got denied. Tried to do it again for fall 2019, got denied. So it's like, what, God, like, what you want me to do? Because I refuse to like go back home, because my home, like, that situation is dead. It's like, I hate to use this word, it's overused, but it's toxic. And it's like, it had me question, like, does God really want me to have my degree or whatever? Also, I did take 2 classes in summer 2019. I only took 1 class this last semester, fall 2019. And graciously, that scholarship that I got back in when I first started school, that scholarship I got, they actually gave me the I qualified for it again. I just reached out like, hey, I'm going through this. I'm not getting financial aid. Can you help me out? And they gave me $2,000 for that summer semester and $1,200 for this past fall. But like, school is expensive once you add in all the just the tuition and then all the fees, and just like, only took that 1 class last semester so I could have it. Like, it was like a prerequisite for a lot of my major courses, because that's all I got left. So yeah, just dealing with that setback. As I said, this is going on my 6th semester of me having to sit out of school, and like, I just really was hopeful and believing that God would get this appeal approved for me. So when I got that denial, it was like, all my hope, all my faith, and everything that I was hoping for and praying for just went completely out the window. Because like I said, I had dreams and just I had a plan for what I wanted to do for after graduation, or a plan that I wanted to start by the end of July, which was when I was going to complete my degree requirements. But to have that setback and get that rejection, it just hurt me. Like, I was really, really just depressed and down, because my mind was just so focused like it's never been. I had some good classes this semester, like stuff I was really actually interested in. Like, my major courses, they're my major courses. So this is like no more of that, no more of the core stuff, like the little liberal arts degree, like what you basically have to do, the prerequisites or whatever. This was classes that I was actually interested in, and I just had like a good feeling about this semester. So I was doing all my work, whatever. I turned in everything that was due, even while I was still in the back of my head, like, my classes may get dropped or whatever, but I didn't care. I still acted as though it was already done. So once I got that denial, it was like, I didn't want to pray no more. I didn't want to try to catch no little angel numbers. I didn't want to, like, all my hope. I just felt like defeated. It's just like, what? I had to take just a day, like full 24 hours for me to just sit in that depressed state, be down, you know, and feel all the range of emotions, because that's what I do. Like, I'm an empath, like, I'm highly sensitive, intuitive, all that. But for real, I had to just sit in my feelings and feel all the range of emotions before I let my family know. So I did that. I waited about 2 days before I texted my brother and was like, I text my dad first and I text my brother, of course, my parents, whatever. But yeah, like, I was depressed. My dad called me after I texted him. Let me not say depressed. I was really down about it. And my dad called me after I texted him about that. And he was like, well, he was like, well, we might could come up with the money or whatever, because I still had like 5 days to try to get the payment before classes got dropped. I wasn't coming up with no $3,800 in 5 days, y'all, of course, and my daddy wasn't either. So he was like, well, you never know what God can do. And I remember I was just thinking to myself, like, no, he's not gonna do it. My dad told me, like, well, you never know. God can do something. He might pull something. I was like, no, he's not. I remember I said that to myself. I didn't say it out loud, but that's just messed up, because God has come through for me in so many ways, and so many different times, and so much. And it's just like, when you don't get this one thing, you just want to turn your back on him completely and just give up and lose hope, lose faith. And that's exactly what the enemy wants. Like, that's how we do. We treat God, we treat Jesus as just like a genie in a bottle, and he's so much more than that. Basically what I was doing, I was basically just treating God like some little dude that I was talking to, a situationship. Like, okay, I'm mad at you, so I'm just going to ignore you. I'm not going to talk to you right now. I'm not going to pray. And it's crazy to how we can treat God as though he's man. When I know when I'm down and out, when I'm going through something and having a lack of faith, or when I just don't have nobody in my corner, God has always been by my side, my defense, and it's really the only person in my life that I can trust, and is true peace and a confidant for me. Jesus has always been there, and it's just really ugly and just nasty of me, my heart. But I was feeling down, I was hopeless, and I just had this plan set in motion of what I really wanted to do, and I had no intent on being here in this town for another 6 months. Because that's another 6 months I'm going to have to think about trying to pay for school out of pocket, and also thinking about paying my rent and stuff. Like, it was just not part of my plans to be here and just to deal with that another delay. But going back to the verse, man makes plans, but dang, I forgot the verse. Many are the plans in a person's heart, but the Lord's plans will prevail. Because it really just got me thinking, like, dang, why does God not want me to graduate right now? Why does God keep doing this delay? Like, what's going on, Like, why are we going through this? And then I have, like, all this outside stuff, like my family and people down me, like, damn, you ain't graduated yet, all these jokes, and just so much outside stuff going on. It's like, why would God make me or want me to deal with that pain, like deal with that ridicule and all this stuff? And he knows I really want this. I'm 25, y'all. I started college in 2013. It is 2020 now. And this is my sixth. Don't think I'm just dumb, y'all. I've been sitting out. I set out. This is my 6th semester. So it's a total of 3 years that I've had to sit out of college. So it ain't like I'm just dumb, okay? It's just setbacks for financially and also my own self, being lazy. Not dumb, but lazy, okay? It's a hot mess, and it's hard, and it's sucky. But I've been feeling like a lot of just being encouraged from recent events that's been going on and what God's been speaking to me, really with that verse. And he's been also speaking, the Holy Spirit has also been giving me the story of Job and all that he went through. And a pastor who I love watching on YouTube, and it's really helped me in my journey since I first came to Christ in 2016 to now, Tony Evans. I love his videos, I love his sermons, but he recently lost his wife. And he talks about how all these plans they had for all these plans they still had together, and found out that her cancer diagnosis had returned, and like a question of the timing of it, like why now when we had all these plans, and just that hurt and stuff. That I'm not even trying to compare what I'm going through to that, because that's just like a completely different thing, but it's all the same basis of loss. And when we have something in our hands and we think something is right there and we have our plans, but life happens, you know. And that's the thing, that's really the basis of it. You have plans and stuff in your mind, and just dreams and visions and even goals you write out. I believe in manifesting, but none of us are immune from life happening. And also, I just have to talk on just the recent death of Kobe Bryant. I think what it's doing for a lot of people, for a lot of us, just seeing the frailty and fragility of life, because no one, no matter how famous you are, no amount of money, nothing can prevent you from life happening. Death is inevitable, and loss is, we all gonna experience some type of loss. And it's just like, just an eye-opener. When I first heard about that, I was like, I thought it was a hoax, I thought it was a fake. Because it's like Kobe Bryant, you know, like he's big, you know, it's like a giant in basketball. It's hard and it hurts, and I just hate that his daughter and those kids were there with him. And I just completely pray for those families always, and ask that you pray for those families, all those affected as well. But I really wanted to just wait and share this testimony about what I was going through after I graduated, after I got the degree. So, because it just sounds better, like after you come out with a degree or whatever, like, you know. But I feel like sometimes it's actually really good to hear the story about why you still going through it, and just the pain as just a sense of comfort, to just know like we gonna have setbacks in life, there's gonna be troubles, everything's not gonna be all good. But the thing is, you gotta remain hopeful. You gotta remain hopeful, and you also gotta keep your faith and keep your peace. Because just like Paul said, I've learned to be, whatever season I'm in and whatever situation I find myself in, I learned to be content. And that's something that is just really, it's easy to say, but it's hard to just, when you're in the moment, you can't think like that. But you gotta keep the faith. And I just wanted to share this for anybody right now who's dealing with hopelessness, loss, disappointment, when you just had plans in your heart and in your mind, and things don't work out like that, you know. Another favorite pastor of mine, Terry Anderson, is on here. He has this great sermon titled "Standing at the Expectation of Hope and Disappointment," I believe it's called. I'll put the link down below in the description box. But yes, sometimes it's just good to just share your story while you're still going in it. Because a lot of times you'll hear sermons, whatever, and motivational speaking and stuff like that, and inspirational messages about people after the storm, once they got their breakthrough. But not much is given to give people hope and comfort while you're still going through it, while you're in the storm. But you know, like the disciples while the disciples were in the boat and tossing and turning, and they're stressed out, you know, but they had their Savior right there. Jesus was with them the whole time. And while they're stressing and panicking out, all Jesus did was speak to the storm and speak to the boat. All Jesus had to do was speak to the waters and speak to the winds, and they calmed, they listened. So to put that in perspective, God will not always pull you out of the storm, sometimes he'll get there right there with you in a boat. So yeah, I'm still here. I'm still dealing. I'm sorry, my video just got cut. I reached my size limit, whatever I recorded on my phone. But yeah, if y'all want to hear a video about how I budget and my plans for paying for school out of pocket, let me know and I can do that. Please pray for me, and I'll be praying for you as well. And I just want you guys to just don't lose hope. Like, talk good to yourself, be peaceful, try to keep it peace, pray, surround yourself around some good friends, go to church, listen to worship music, do get up, get cute or whatever, put some effort into your appearance, do all things that make you feel good. But most importantly, I say that you develop a close, intimate, personal relationship with God. That's something I'm still working on because I just get so bored. Like, sometimes I don't be wanting to read the Bible. I don't be feeling like praying sometimes, but that's just me being lazy, trying to get better with it. Pray for me, please. Pray for me that I found me a good circle of just Christian friends and like-minded friends, people I can trust. You know, I pray that for you. I want to build a community here. I'm not consistent with YouTube, but I really do want to try to, but I really only want to make content and videos when I feel led to. But I do want to build a community here. So if you're watching this and you'd like to actually go ahead and subscribe, comment, you know, yeah, so like and share as well. I do want to leave y'all with one of my favorite verses. My favorite verses of scripture, because I feel like it just really helps with all this what I'm talking about and in the moment. So let me do that. So I have my Bible here, and it's going to be coming from what I'm reading from 2 Corinthians 4, 8 through 10, sorry. It says, "We are hard pressed on every side, but not crushed, perplexed, but not in despair, persecuted, but not abandoned, struck down, but not destroyed." So, oh yeah, let me finish. I like the next verse too. It says, "Through suffering, our bodies continue to share in the death of Jesus, so that the life of Jesus may also be seen in our bodies." I didn't read that. Verse 10. So, you need to understand this may be a hard truth. While we go through all these troubles in life and we have plans, we face rejection, get beat down, and just life don't go as we want. As Christians, sorry if you're not Christian, just life fact too, Jesus went through all those things, ridiculed, treated wrong, and you know, he pleaded out, even while he was on the cross, he pleaded out for his Father God, to save him, but he was not rescued for that. I mean, he wasn't spared. Before he got to the cross, he pleaded to God like he did not want to deal with this suffering and the pain, because crucifixion was just one thing, but really Jesus took on the full wrath of God. Like, the wrath of God and the sin for this world. Like, think of all like the terrible things and just sinful things that we've done and that people do in this life, and Jesus had to take the punishment for it all. So you can't imagine that, first of all. But through his life while he was on this earth, Jesus dealt with everything we dealt with: loss, disappointment, rejection, and all that. We still kept the faith, and he still trucked and soldiered on. And you might think, okay, well, that's because he's Jesus. But Jesus, he was God in the flesh, but he also was very much a man, and he felt every range of emotions that we felt in our human body as well. But he had a different reaction to it. And I know it's like, for me saying that, it's like, okay, of course he can have a different reaction. He's God, okay? But still, we can still just use the example of Jesus and how he lived and how he walked about and dealt with his life, because he faced that ridicule. He could easily just reacted and just been negative and just threw everything away when he was tempted by Satan in the wilderness and all that. He chose to react with scripture. He was hungry. He was tempted and everything, but he still kept the faith. He didn't turn his back on God or on people. He didn't turn his back on us. Really, he was thinking about us, and he was thinking about saving us and doing a mission from the Father, because we're not worthy, okay? We may have these plans. We may think we worked hard and all this, but none of us, when we really sit down and just think about all the stuff we've done, or really can say we just deserve everything, because Jesus didn't deserve crucifixion or death. So, and none of us, not a single person on this earth, if you're saved or not, if you're Christian or not, none of us we deserve decent respect, and just life is just not obligated to give us what we want. You work hard for it. You can work hard for anything and put in all the effort into your job, your work, your career, or the relationship, but it all can fail you. Nothing is promised in this life, and that's the truth. That's the truth of the matter, is nothing is promised. We make our plans, but nothing is set in stone. I'm sure no one starts the day and thinking that it's going to be their last. You never know what life will bring. You never know what will happen. So although it's hurtful and it's painful while you're dealing with this loss, when you had those plans, you had these goals and this whole trajectory of what you imagined, what you envisioned and wanted your life to look like, and just because it doesn't go like that or go your way on your timing or how you desire or what you desire to see fit or whatever, don't mean you give up. Don't lose hope. Don't turn your back on God. That means you just go back to the drawing board and you learn. You learn. You know what you want. You know what you're going after. Go back to the drawing board. Sit and talk with God, because it might just be something He wants you to learn in this moment. As I mentioned, this is my 6th semester sitting now, okay? But it's always been spring semesters. Like, spring 2016, when I was completely depressed, went downhill. I wasn't in classes then. I wasn't in classes spring 2017. Spring 2018, I was eligible to come back, but I couldn't come back because I had to get my requirements set for financial aid. Spring 2019, I failed those financial aid requirements again. And now spring 2020, I'm out again. You see? But yeah, that's life. It's nothing I can do if I'm broke. I don't have the money, and I messed up in my past too to lead me here. So, it's probably something God wants me to learn, and I'm just determined to get it right this time. And if this is y'all who's going, I'm not going to beat a dead horse. I'm not going around the same mountain over and over like the Israelites did. I'm determined to pass this test and finally get over the mountain, because I'm bigger than a mountain. My problem is this. I'm a giant. I know this. So yes, if it's you and you're in this situation again, like I said, please keep the faith. Don't lose hope, and also please be mindful of what you say in this time. I went to church this past Sunday, and there was a pastor sharing his testimony about how he had all these plans to start his production companies. He took out like 9 loans that's total like $200-something thousand, and out of nowhere, his partner, who he signed the production company with, he was in the army and he got shot in the foot, and not too long after that, his lung collapsed, and he was left with this debilitating disease and had all these stack of medical bills and no money to cover it. And it just like, he was saying how he was in the hospital bed and he was laying and he just thought to himself or whatever, thinking to God, like, why would you let this happen? You're not good at all. He said that to himself. He didn't say it out loud. And he said the Holy Spirit immediately convicted him and said to him, I know you're going through whatever, and you can't think or talk positive right now, But if you can't say anything positive, don't say anything at all. And he was immediately convicted. And again, just like things going good, you giving God all the praise and you giving thanks. But as soon as things turn bad and not going how you want to try to curse God to his face and just talk down on him. But we can't do that. Don't let your thoughts trick you. Don't let the enemy trick you. Again, I say get around some good people, a good circle, and be mindful how you speak about your life, about God, and what you say to yourself and your thoughts. Be determined to just speak good to yourself and pray and trust and just keep the faith and just love God through it all. So again, I hope that this video could be some word of encouragement for you. If so, I ask you go ahead and comment, let me know, subscribe, share, and like, and yeah, stay tuned because I'm gonna be more consistent. I'm gonna be more consistent this year. I got a lot of time on my hands. And again, if you want to see that video, if you want me to make a video of how I'm gonna budget and work to pay this school stuff out of pocket, you want the details and about how to budget that, because if you're in the same position, let me know and I will do that. And talk to you guys soon. Bye.